Hello everyone and welcome to Bevins Bricks. I'm Daryl and today's video is going to be something that I felt needed to be touched on because a lot of people are really upset about the new road plate system. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of have a video and make a discussion, if you will, in regards to the history of the Lego road plate. So if this is something that interests you, stick around because it's coming up. Anyway, trying to jump right into things, what I have here is kind of the history of the Lego road plate. First, I'm going to start with the existing road plate, as this is the road plate that everybody's kind of up in arms about that they're discontinuing this year. But let me tell you something. This road plate has had a very long and robust run. What I mean by that, this road plate right here has been manufactured from 2005 all the way to today. So this road plate has been around for 15 years. This is the longest manufactured road plate that Lego has ever made. And I agree, it is a nice looking road plate, but I wanted to kind of show you guys some of the history of some of the other plates, because the road plates haven't always been around like you think they have today, and Lego has made lots of changes to them over the years. Now, I'm just going to be discussing the straight pieces for the road plates, but they've made several different curves and other options throughout the years. I don't have an exact piece to show you every single one, but I'm going to discuss them as we go. So anyway, now let's go back in time. We know this is the current road plate that everybody is extremely upset over them discontinuing. But again, it's been from 2005 to 2019. But let's go back in time and show you what would actually be the very first road plate. But what it was is this is actually an airport plate. And here it is. The actual first road plate, though, instead of it looking like this, the entire plate was light blue-gray. These lines were actually green, and then it was a white hashed line down the center. But they had 9 studs on both sides of the road. Now, this particular plate, I shouldn't say this particular plate, but the plate that resembled this plate for the first road plate ran from 83 to 85. And then the plate that I'm holding in my hand, it was actually made for airports. And this particular plate ran from 85 to 87. But now that was where a big change happened. Lego realized that people really loved the road plates. So they came out with a road plate, and they kept it for quite some time. And what that road plate was this guy right here. This particular road plate has 7 studs on both sides. Just like the last road plate I was describing to you, it had the green lines on the edge. This one also has white lines on the outer edge of the green lines, and then you had the white hashed line down the center. Now, this particular plate here had another really generous run. This ran from 1986 all the way up until 1996. And if I have to point out to you, I don't have very many of these plates because that was kind of more during my dark ages of Lego. But this, again, is a very popular road plate. And like I said, it did run for a very, and I mean very long time. But after they did this plate, what they ended up doing for a very short time, because like I said, there was a lot of changes to the road plates over the years. So they went from this guy, and then they started creating this guy here. This was the replacement for this. Now, what they did is they actually, just to show you, they increased the studs, really is all they did, and they got rid of some of the shoulder. But they went with the green sides. They stayed with the light blue-gray for the road itself. They stayed with the green lines on the edges, and they stayed with the white hash mark down the center. Now, this particular road plate here, it only had a 3-year production run. Yes, I said that right, a 3-year production run. Now, because I was back into buying Lego by that point, I actually have a lot of these. I have a whole lot of these because personally, when I first started building cities and whatnot, I was doing it for my kids, and I loved these plates. I loved them because You have the grass already on the side. There's no coloring necessary, and you have a nice colored road. But again, this plate was only made for 3 years. This plate was made from 1997 all the way to 2000, which really wasn't that long of a run. But after they did this plate, and unfortunately, because it was such a short production run on these, I don't have very many of them. And I don't even have a flat or a straight one that I can find at the moment. I know I have some, but I'm just not sure where it's at. But they came out with this guy. Now, this particular plate here, as you can see, they went with dark gray on the road. They did yellow lines on the edge, which is kind of more in line with America anyway. And then they did a white hashed line down the center. Actually, in America, what it is you would have a yellow line with white lines on these edges, but close enough anyway. But just like the previous production, they kept the green sides. They did make the lanes whiter, though. So that was a really huge thing for Lego, and a lot of people really loved this plate. And as you can see here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like the existing road plates we have now. But what it was is because Lego found these to be rather expensive to make. The reason is, as you can see, it's made on a green base plate, and they had to paint all this dark gray, the yellow, and the white onto these plates. And they didn't like the cost of making these plates. So these plates have the actual shortest production run of all plates combined. These were only manufactured from 2002 to 2003. And actually, when they were offering them, because cars were still typically built on a smaller scale at that point in time, people really didn't latch onto these quite like Lego had expected. And again, because of the cost of manufacturing them, they can discontinue them. But what they did is after they discontinued these in 2003, they had a small hiatus. They re-engineered some of their cars and started making their cars a little bigger. And then guess what? They came out with this beloved guy that everybody is buying now today. But again, there was a 2-year hiatus between this guy and this guy. But once this guy came out, this one is the longest production run of 15 years. Like I said, 2005 all the way to 2020, which brings us to the newest road plate that so far nobody is happy about, even though it's not even in stores yet. Now, just to kind of give you an idea of what that new road system is going to look like again, I'm going to put a link to the video that I already made showing the images of that particular road system, the new one that is supposed to be scheduled to release next year in 2021. Me personally, I think that new road system is going to be absolutely awesome, but I also build on Mills plates now. I don't use the standard road plates. So to me, the new road system really isn't a bad deal. I don't even think it looks that bad. I don't think it's that far off on price when you look at the size of the pieces that are coming with it. I know a lot of people are upset about it and they would rather just keep the roads because it's easier, as opposed to doing the built roads like I do, or using the built roads that Lego's about to come out with. But I still think they are a fantastic road. If you just give them a chance anyway, as long as they keep the price to where I'm hearing it's at already anyway. And as soon as those are released, and the reason I haven't made any videos on how to adapt to those road plates yet is because they're not in stores yet. So I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, so to speak. But when they do release those, I will be buying them as fast as I can, and I will start manufacturing, or making, I should say, videos to explain to everybody exactly how they can use them, how they can set them up to look good with their old modular buildings without having to modify them, and how they can also modify those roads to be wider or narrower depending on the scale of your particular city. Anyway, as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And we will see you next time on Bevins Bricks.